Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on whereabouts in space and time you happen to be right now. My name's Gareth, the tech guy with the Tash, and in today's Tech Guy with the Tash tech tip episode, I'm just going to show you how to check whether you have BitLocker enabled on your device. So before we get to that, quick explanation of what BitLocker is. So BitLocker is the Windows built-in drive encryption software. So again, let's just back that up again. What's drive encryption software? So drive encryption software is the thing that makes it impossible for somebody to read the data that's on your laptop or your PC without having the correct passwords or keys. So you may think that just because you've got a password to get onto your laptop that it's protected. Well, that's not the case, because if you've got somebody like me, they could take the hard drive out of your laptop, put it in a different laptop that I do have the password for, and still get to your data. Now, if you've got BitLocker enabled, BitLocker will take the data that's on your hard drive and it scrambles it. It scrambles it in a way that means that it needs your password to unscramble it. I'm simplifying things a little bit here. If you're a techie and you're watching this and you're thinking, who doesn't know what he's talking about? I know what I'm talking about. I'm simplifying. So this is the idea. So realistically, if you've got a device that has any kind of sensitive data on, whether it's just sitting on the hard drive, whether it's in OneDrive or not in OneDrive, you really should have BitLocker enabled on your business device. Regardless of whether it's got sensitive data or not, just enable it. So without any further ado, after recording the video that I'm just doing now, although it was a couple of minutes ago, I realised that I didn't do my technical Tash tech tip. How many T's was it? 5 T's? Technical Tash tech tip. Anyway, I think this is probably a 2 or maybe a 3. Pretty much anybody could do it, but if you don't have admin rights on your system, or you really don't understand what's going on here at all, then maybe it's best not to. But realistically, this is something that every user should be able to do on their system, as long as their system isn't managed by an IT team or an IT department somewhere. So if you're able to do what's shown in these steps, anyone should be able to do it and turn it on. If for some reason you don't have the admin details, then you do need to talk to your IT team. But I'm going to give this a 2. 2 technical Tash tech tip tallies technical Tash tip. Nothing. Let's switch the screens. We're going to be on. So I'm just onto a machine here. This is a recorded video. So this was a clean install of Windows 11. The only thing that I've done to this since installing is installed OBS on it so that I can actually record the video. So we'll just press play on this, and this is going to go through now and just show you where things are at. So we're going to go down to the start menu, and the first thing that we're just going to check is we're going to type WinVer, W-I-N-V-E-R, and then we're going to click on that WinVer command there. And this is just to check that we've got Windows 11 Pro. Okay, so if this is a business device, realistically you want Windows 11 Pro, you don't want the Home Edition. So we're going to go back to the start, and we're going to type BitLocker, and we're going to click on that top match there that says Manage BitLocker. Okay, and you can see that from default, this is, as I say, a clean install. BitLocker is turned off. There's a really obvious button there that says Turn it on. You'll notice there's a little shield next to that. That means that when you click that, it's going to ask for the admin username and password. So, and then I've just clicked on it, obviously, and that blanks the screen then whilst I'm putting the admin username and password in. So you will need to know your admin username and password. So I'm going to bring you to this screen here. Now, this is going to make sure that you have what's called the BitLocker recovery key. I'm just going to pause this because I think I probably need a few seconds longer here. So the BitLocker recovery key, if there's ever a problem and your password gets scrambled or your system changes significantly, then Microsoft might need you to re-enter what's called the recovery key. This is quite a long, complicated number. So what it wants you to do is either save it to your Microsoft account, save it to a file, or print it. So, and you'll see, I don't think I mentioned this particularly, but the next is currently greyed out. You can't click next until you've done at least one of these things. So I'm going to press play on the video again. I'm going to do 2 of these things. I'm not going to save it to my Microsoft account because I don't have a Microsoft account set up on this machine. But I'm just going to save it out to this memory stick. I'm going to make a small mistake here because I'm going to try and save it in a folder. I'm going to notice that I've done that, and then I'm going to go back. There we go. And then we're going to save that. As an alternative, if you didn't want to save it to a memory stick, you could say that you're going to print it and then print to PDF. And you can then save that somewhere on the file system. But you absolutely want to make sure that you've got this on a memory stick and that you've then got that memory stick secured. Put it in your safe if you've got a safe. So, next thing it's going to ask you is whether you want to encrypt the entire disk or just the bits that have been used. Now, if this is a brand spanking new machine and you've put no data on it before ever, then I would go with the top option. If you've ever had data on it, so if this is a reinstall, and you've had stuff on this in the past, then I would click the bottom option. I'm just going to hit pause again there, give myself a couple of seconds longer. So yeah, so top option, brand spanking new machine, just encrypt the disk that's been used. But if you've ever had data on this disk before, I would pick the bottom option. Takes longer, but it's more thorough. In this instance, for the demo, I've just picked the top option, and we'll hit next on that just now. And it's now going to ask you whether you want to use the new encryption mode or the compatible mode. So again, realistically, if you're using, and you'll see it says here, if you're using Windows 10 version 15, 11 or newer, then you are going to be absolutely fine to use the new encryption. Additionally, if you're encrypting the internal hard drive on your computer, then I would use the new encryption model because realistically, you're using it with that device, you know it's going to support the new encryption model. The only reason you would use compatibility mode is if it's an external device, if you're encrypting it. So, sorry, I'll just press play again on there. And then hopefully I'm going to click next any second now. There we go. Okay, and finally, there's an option here to run a BitLocker check. So if you tick that box and continue, then your computer's going to restart. It'll do a few checks before it starts encrypting the disk. Again, I would suggest doing this because it's safer. So yeah, tick that, hit the continue button. What you will find now, obviously, is that the system's going to restart, which means that I'm going to stop. Well, the recording's going to stop as soon as I hit continue there. So I will come back to you in a few seconds when it's up again. Okay, and there we are back. When I first logged on, there was a message box that popped up in the bottom corner just to say that BitLocker was doing its thing. But we're just going to go to there, type BitLocker again and back in. And you can now see that it says BitLocker is on. And there's a little key icon there, a padlock with a key. So you can see that that's on. And you can see that it's saying everything's looking good. You'll also notice that there is an option there to back up your BitLocker recovery key. So if you don't have your BitLocker recovery key somewhere and you're thinking, oh crap, I would go click on that. So there I am circling that again. So there's the key. Back up your recovery key. If you don't know where that is, it's going to ask for the admin password again, which we're just going to enter. And you can see it gives you the same 3 options there to save to Microsoft, save to file, or print recovery key. So that's about it. So I'm going to go back across to this view that I have on my system as Big Head view. So that's it. So enabling BitLocker on your Windows 11 Pro device. If you have any data on it, I'd just go turn that on, frankly. There's no reason not to. System's going to work absolutely fine without it. It doesn't slow things down, just makes everything more secure. Just do make sure that you get a copy of that recovery key and that you put the copy of the recovery key somewhere safe. Drop it on a memory stick, drop that memory stick in your safe if you've got one. I mean, even if you just drop it in a drawer in your house, in your bedside table, put it in there. If you leave your laptop on the train, or if somebody bumps into you in the street and steals your laptop bag, they're not going to have your BitLocker key that's sitting on a memory stick in your bedside table. So that's fairly secure, right? And if you need to, print it off. If you want to save it to your Microsoft account, you can save it to your Microsoft account as well. As I say, I didn't in this example just because I don't have a Microsoft account spare lying around for demo use, so I didn't do that. So if hopefully that's helped somebody. If you find that it's turned off and you don't have admin rights, you might just need to talk to your IT team. Don't flame your IT team if that's not enabled. There is almost certainly a good reason that they haven't enabled it. If there isn't a good reason, then maybe question whether they're any good, but I'm sure there will be a good reason if it is disabled. But if it is, and you can't enable it because you don't have admin rights on your system, talk to the person that has the admin rights and get them to enable it. Don't try and work around it or circumnavigate the security, because that's a bad idea. So yeah, like I say, hope it's been useful. Hope that comes in handy for somebody, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for your attention.